1 out of every 2 men and 1 out of every 3 women will be diagnosed with cancer. But despite those huge numbers, most individuals don't know what that really means.
Thanks for watching Esports Monies. Subscribe and enable notifications with the bell icon so you don't miss any of this questionable content.
And if you hit the like button, I'll probably get more views or something, so go on and do that too, I guess. Thanks.
What is cancer and how does it start? Hi, I'm Dr.
Esports Monies.
DSM, Mac10, whatever you want to call me, and welcome to my guide to jungling PA in patch 7.07c. This footage was recorded technically in patch 7.07b, I'll happily admit that, though there is no way for you to tell that, because there's no change that really affects PA or the way PA jungles at all. So, cool. We got that out of the way. So, you're probably wondering, PA jungling, is it good, is it worth it? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to leave that up to you to decide, because a lot of people are going to say no, and I think the reason people say no is because when you jungle a hero, you have to wonder what makes a hero good at jungling. So, people are always angry at Legion junglers. Why are people angry at Legion junglers? Because people look at Legion Commander and say, well, theoretically, on paper, this is the hardest carry in the game, because if the game goes on for an infinite amount of time, just by chance I'll get a large amount of kills and have a very large amount of damage, permanent damage bonus. Also, the hero just feels like a right-click carry. In truth, though, the hero doesn't scale that well unless you're snowballing out of control by killing people. You don't farm very fast with the hero. So you get into a situation where you feel like it's worth it for you to not fight and continue to farm, or to build yourself like a carry, when you should be building Legion Commander as a position 3, getting a Blink Dagger and a Blade Mail, and then jumping on people and using your ultimate as a single target BKB piercing stun, is what you should be thinking about. So, how does this relate to PA and jungling PA? Well, a lot of people are going to see this guide and go, oh god, this is worse than LC. And to a certain extent, it is greedier than LC. The reason being because PA just doesn't farm as quickly. But PA will be getting a Mask of Madness by around 8 to 9 minutes, closer to around 8:30, if you do this correctly. And the reason we go for Mask of Madness is to allow us to fight and to accelerate our farm. But notice how I said allow us to fight first. If you're spending this much time in the jungle from the get-go, as soon as you have that Mask of Madness, you're going to be trying to get treads. Everything that comes after Mask of Madness should be things like treads, bracer, these things that make you Blightstone, things that make you more confident fighting, because you're going to be coming from behind with that Mask of Madness anyway. But you're also putting yourself on a springboard to get a very large amount of farm. See, back in the day, my original guide to jungling PA was to get a Battle Fury, and now people are probably wondering, like, oh my god, why isn't he getting a Battle Fury? There's two kinds of people watching this video right now. One, why does this video exist? This guy has cancer. And two, why isn't he getting a Battle Fury? Those are the two questions. Those are the two types of people watching my video right now. If you're wondering why I didn't get a Battle Fury, at level 15 you have a 20% cleave chance, talent. At level 15 you also have a -4 armor corruption. You can get -2 armor corruption, which is half of that, which of course doesn't scale like half of it because armor works in a very weird curve in terms of the damage you take. But you can get -2 armor corruption for 300 gold. You show me where you can get half a Battle Fury for 300 gold. It's not even about the stats. It's not even about the math behind it. It's about the fact that a 20% cleave fundamentally changes the speed at which you are able to clear camps, versus -4 armor corruption doesn't, because it's still single target damage. So, level 10, you have a choice between plus 15 damage or plus 150 health. Get whatever you want, I don't care. But at level 15, you're going to get 20% cleave every flip in time. It's just not good enough. The only situation I could see where you would go for the minus armor corruption is where every opponent you had was weak to negative armor, and you were going full minus armor. So you had a Deso and a Blightstone already, and then you got that, so now you've got -12 armor, single target. But, I mean, I still don't think it's that good. And remember, the primary source of PA's damage is her crit. All of these minus armor things work on buildings, which is great, but the primary source of damage is PA's crit, and PA doesn't crit buildings. So this is only single target damage. Like, it just doesn't make sense. At level 20, you have a choice between double strike stifling dagger or 20% lifesteal. you're going to get the double strike Stifling Dagger. Because, I mean, this is not for the jungle, by the way. This is for picking the damn hero. If you're going for 20% lifesteal at level 20, and you already have 20% cleave, if you don't have a Mask of Madness, then you're putting that talent to waste, because Mask of Madness allows you to attack very fast with an incredibly high degree of sustainability, and when you combine that with cleave, now you suddenly can bounce around the map pretty much indefinitely. It costs half as much mana as her Blink Strike, or Phantom Strike, and you're just clearing things, because you have the Mask of Madness. It's a great item. Going for the 20% lifesteal here is not going to change the game as much as a double strike Stifling Dagger, because 20% lifesteal doesn't mean that much when you already have Mask of Madness, which you're probably going to want to upgrade to a Satanic later on anyway. And the reason this is so is because if you are in a fight and you die, it's very, very rare that someone was man-fighting PA, and that's why she died. Like, there's very rare that people just hit you while you're hitting them, and one of you just, like, you duel like men, so to speak, quote-unquote. It's a pretty rare situation. 90+% of the times you die in the late game is you got hit by something that just went straight through evasion, which is magic damage. You got hit by a Lina ulti, and then she refreshed her orb, and Lina ultied you again, but the bulk of your damage came from quick nukes. The other reason is you're stunned. Both of these reasons have nothing to do with, or both of these reasons cannot be countered and negated in any way by lifesteal. At level 25, you have a choice between plus 5% coup de grace and plus 25% blur evasion. This talent's a little bit situational, but really increasing blur by 50% of what it gives you is not as good as increasing coup de grace by 33% of what it gives you, because 50% evasion is already really high, and people are typically working in ways that counter your evasion already, versus coup de grace, there's no counter to the coup. The way you counter coup de grace is to counter blur, because you have to kill the PA before she can even hit you. As far as skill build goes, you will build exactly like this. You're going to get 2 points in Blur as soon as possible. You're going to get 1 point in Phantom Strike in the early game with no additional points in Phantom Strike because you only get reduced cooldown for putting more points in it. Stifling Dagger you're going to max as soon as possible once you get the 1 point in Phantom Strike and 2 points in Blur, and then you're going to level your ultimate at every single possible time throughout the entire game. So thank you guys so much for watching, and lastly, I gotta make a little shout out to Mr. Frank Castle at Weeb Punisher on Twitter, at Esports Monies. Can you please add these lines at the end of your jungle guides, quote unquote. By the time you finished jungling, unless your teammates are Miracle, Sumail, Kuroki, and GH, you already lost. Thank you. And yeah, so I just read that with really messed up grammar. So enjoy, and shout out to you, Mr. Weeb Punisher.